we have got to chapter 4, which kicks off the series of events that we know as the end times. And here is a wonderful drawing by Gustav Doré, who was kind of like the big cheese of religious paintings and drawings in the 19th century. And this is from a wonderful 19th century copy I have. It's pretty big, of Milton's Paradise Lost, and it's illustrated by Gustave Doré. It's quite wonderful. And you see Christ and God the Father up here on this cloud, and Christ is holding a cross like he's a Catholic priest, you know, walking down the aisle. And then you have the angels and the 24 elders. So, what's chapter 4? It's a description of heaven. So it's similar to Isaiah 6 or Ezekiel 1. But you might say, okay, so we have other descriptions of heaven in the Bible. Why do you claim this one kicks off the series of events known as the end time? I bet some of you are thinking that right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good, thank you. The reason is because Revelation 1:4 says, I will show you what must take place after this. So this isn't a one-time event. This isn't an event that has already occurred. This is an event that's going to kick off something which has not occurred yet, something which has not yet taken place. References are made to God on his throne and to other heavenly creatures. Talks about the 24 elders. By church tradition, 24 elders. That's 2 times 12. Well, there's 12 patriarchs of the 12 tribes, even though there were like 13 tribes, so that is problematic. And 12 apostles. Talks about the living creatures. Well, we've already heard about the living creatures. We did Ezekiel 1. Remember, Ezekiel sees the wheels, and the wheels are spinning in the wheels. It also talks about the living creatures, same group. And then a multitude of angels that worship. So, this is the beginning of the sequence. When we went over the sequence that happens if you're a futurist. And the sequence starts when the only one in heaven that's worthy to open this scroll, this book of the last days, there's only one being, one entity that's worthy to open it. And it's opened by the Lamb of God, the Lamb that was slain. Why is the Lamb the only one worthy to open it? Because you were slain, and with your blood you have purchased men for God from every tribe, language, and people and nation. So the Lamb of God is the only one worthy to open it because the Lamb of God is the one that was slain for us, for human beings.
I just wonder, how long do they run around wondering who's going to open it?
I just think it's a wonderful picture because you have this sense of these angels kind of running around. Oh, who's worthy to open the scrolls? And of course, it's the
right hand of God right there.
Yeah, it might be maybe the guy. So clearly, the Lamb is Jesus. It refers to him as the Lion of Judah. Genesis 49:9 says the Messiah will come out of the tribe of Judah. The root of David refers to the genealogies of Christ in Matthew and Luke, which shows that Jesus is a direct descendant of King David. So clearly the Lamb. Chapter 6. One of the seals on the scrolls are open, and out of this all hell follows, literally. The tribulation begins. Now, what we call the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which were also the front line on the Notre Dame and New Rocky played for them, they called them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. But this term was used before the Notre Dame. And these 4 horsemen ride out. Here's a wonderful medieval engraving showing the 4 horses riding out, trampling human beings here. There's angels flying overhead over the 4 horsemen. And the 4 horsemen bring war, plague, economic dislocation, and death. So it's not going to be a happy moment. But this is when the great tribulation started. The tribulation that eventually is going to end with the second coming of Jesus So it has started. So now we get into the question of the tribulation has started. The 4 horsemen have been sent out. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, let's say it happens tomorrow. And we're all believers. So, do we have to live through the tribulation? Or will we be protected from the tribulation? Or will we be raptured up into heaven? As for the true, from this point on, look for signs. Is there anything that says that Christians are raptured, taken up before the tribulation? Are there Christians that are living through the tribulation? Are they new converts, or are they long-time Christians? So look for the signs as we go through.
Depends what church you're from.
Pardon?
Depends what church you're from.
That's the truth.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Shane, I was going to use Tammy as my example. She's not here. Alas. If you grow up with Tammy's background, then you believe in pre-tribulation, or you are a pre-tribulationist. That means it's a belief that those the living Christians that are there at the time of the tribulation will be taken up or raptured to God at that point. That's a pre-tribulationist. Baptists often have that view. Pentecostals, Holiness Church often have that view. I do not have that view. I want you to know my viewpoints up front.
Left Behind series has that view.
Who did?
Left Behind series.
Exactly. The whole Left Behind series is a pre-tribulation, post-tribulationist, which is a view of most of the reformers, is that Christians have to live through the tribulation, but they will be with God after the second coming. And that is my view, just so you know what my bias is. And then there is kind of a newer view called the mid-tribulation. And as part of the timeline, there's the mysterious visit of the 2 witnesses that happens in chapter 11. And in this view, Christians live through the first part of the tribulation, but then they're taken up at the time of the 2 witnesses. In general, this course is being taught from the point of view of a post-tribulationist. So those of you who have a Baptist background, you probably are pre-tribulationists. This is a wonderful 1873 lithograph that I thought.
Ooh.
Thank you.
It's in color.
It's in color. And it shows there's this huge wooden cross on this tiny little island surrounded by the turbulent seas. And there's a woman on the little island, and she's pulling another woman up. And she's pointing to God from above. When the 5th seal is opened, we see the first reference to a group that is singled out for kind of special care. And that's the martyrs, or those that have died in God's name. And they are treated specially in Revelation. Martyrdom for Christians was a topic of great interest in John's time because Christians were being murdered in the Colosseum. Nero had a party one time and he decided it would be cool to light the Appian Way. So they put Christians up on crosses, put pitch on them and set them on fire. And Nero thought that was a fun thing to do. In the opening of the 6th seal, God really has the attention of people on earth. It says even the rich and mighty cower in caves when this period of tribulation.